Now, this is part two of Soul Trapped Humans. I'm not going to waste a lot of time because I want to try to make this as short as possible. So, where I stopped off at in part one, I was talking about how individuals, namely some older people, I didn't say all, I said some older people, some middle-aged people, and you can say some teenagers, but it's mostly that sort of the elders, the older ones, and the middle age who is pretty much on the brink of running back to the church because of this big word called fear. Now, one of the biggest problem is with this is it's almost like you have a. No, I'm not going to go into the details with that because that's going to make this audio longer than what it needs to be. I'm going to try to keep this simple. They live their whole life not doing their mission. They live their whole life taking shortcuts. They live their whole life just believing, listen, just believing in the gossip, but not challenging the gossip, not challenging what they have heard from the pastors, preachers, popes, and pimps. Okay? They live their whole life going through the system of the world, meaning the engineered society, whatever state, country that they live in, and never thought nor had the desire to live for themselves. See, the typical person around that circle is programmed to the point where they think, well, I am to just grow up, of course after going to school and getting an education, but grow up and be an adult, get a job, raise a few kids, get a nice house, have a retirement plan, get old, sit in a rocking chair and enjoy the remaining years that I have, if I have enough retirement to do so, and then get ready to plant some seeds and push up daisies, while else leaving a legacy behind. And now, we don't verbally say this to ourselves. It's not like these individuals are people. I keep saying individuals. Let me correct that. Let me go ahead and correct that and correct myself. These aren't truly individuals. You cannot be an individual if you're not living your true purpose. If you're not being yourself, you are not a real individual. You're the same as everybody else. Okay, here we go. You go to the church, everybody in there look like you. Now what that means is this. I'm not talking about your culture. I'm not talking about your gender. I'm not even talking about your family, because your family goes in there as well. Sometimes, most times, people go back and forth to the church because their family was in there. And they know the pastor, they know the ministers, they know the choir directors. They know people that they grew up with, these people who was in the church. But everybody that is there is like you because they're doing the same thing. Y'all believe in one thing. Yes, you believe in one thing. You're focusing on one thing. You are standing up for this sort of belief or religion. See, I learned a long time ago that religion is superstition. And not only that, don't get your panties in a bunch. Hold on. For some of you, let me tell you something. For some of you, you need to know that this is a classroom. I take the Academy of Wow Men seriously. Okay, for me, this is not a game. Even though I joke sometimes, this is not a game. And the reason why I'm saying that is because I've been getting a lot of confused members of my academy. I've been receiving a lot of interesting comments. I've been receiving a lot of mail and chiming from individuals in my personal world and here that don't quite understand that you got to read, you got to study first, you got to listen to what I'm saying before you raise your hands. When the professor's speaking, you'll be the dummy who will raise your hand and he's not done with the lecture. Because you don't know what's going to come next. You don't even know what his ending is going to be. So it's best to shut your mouth and listen. See, religion is the point of some people try to manipulate this word, because that's all this really is, a word, as a form of when you do something religiously. You have a certain piety, you have a certain loyalty to a certain idea. I have to put it that way so you can comprehend, of life or an idea of things. Someone say you wash your car religiously. You check your stocks religiously. You're doing it. See, this is why the English language is very, very confusing. This is a very good example of when I throw different words at you, and when I talk about belief, faith, the word I feel, and when people use a word that you can manipulate 4 or 5 different ways around, okay, that you need to be aware about what's coming out of a person's face. So religion is the same thing, where when a person say religion, you'll think of, okay, a belief system that you may have with a church or an affiliation with it. But then again, you'll hear other people say, oh, he's being religious about how he brushes his teeth. He's very religious about his baseball collection, about his video games, about his family. People will use it that way because of the confusion that we have allowed into society. See, years ago, we used to have shaming. Years ago, we had people who they weren't Karens. You got Karens today, but people who were very corrective. Like when you sit in church and you have the older lady with a big fishbowl hat on with the fruits and bananas and strawberries and pineapples on top of it. And if you got out of line, it was justifiable for her to smack you in the leg with a ruler, or to cough under her voice and look at you with a very stone look, because that was a form of correction. And then there were people who were in your family, who was your uncles, your grandmothers, or even it could be a visiting mother. And if you said something wrong, if you stood wrong, they would correct you. If you carried yourself wrong, if women walked down the stairs in their pajamas, little girls, or the teenagers, whoever, they walk down the stairs in their pajamas and flip-flops on, and their attire, such as their tank top that they wear in the house, didn't have a brassiere underneath it, a woman who was not the mother or an older sister or auntie would correct her. You need to go back upstairs. Go back upstairs. Go back upstairs and put something else on. That is inappropriate. You need to dress with proper decorum, young lady. And the mom would sit there and say thank you while she's pouring a container of tea or a pitcher of tea for her guests. But now it's anything goes, and the results of anything goes, I don't care. It's not my daughter, it's not my son, it's not my situation, it's not me. You got to understand, it blends onto everything. What I'm trying to show you how the matrix work is it tethers to everything. You can attach it. It's almost like a virus. Or let's say cancer, for example. Some people don't know how cancer works. Okay, what cancer can do and would do, and depending on the type of cancer, it still had this potential where it may start in your, let's say your lungs, for example. It starts in your lungs, and it starts encroaching down to the other parts, which are, as a matter of fact, most times it's going to attack the weakest parts of your body. And that's how sometimes, not all the time, you'll end up finding that in your breasts. Some men may find it in their genital parts, in their liver, certain very vital areas, because it's the weakest part of their body that they kept breaking down over the years. And a lot of that contributes to bad smoking, bad eating, taking in high, high chemicals in all its variations. So it gets that. But anyway, what happens is this: it travels from your lungs. If it starts there, it end up traveling downwards to your gut area, your stomach, your intestines, and then from there it will start to encroach down there in the crotch area, or between your pelvic bones down to your your anus, okay, and other vital parts down there. And of course, when the autopsy come back, or when they have to do surgery and they do the investigation and all this, where they got to put you underneath the scalpel and figure out what happened to you before you get put in the ground. Okay, usually they will see, okay, and even without a microscope, without an X-ray, that you got this streak of mutated flesh going from your lungs all the way down into the bottom. How does this happen? Because it travels. Mutation happens. It travels. So with our generation in society, which is whatever goes, everything is the same. Nobody's shamed for anything. There's no grandmothers anymore. There's no fathers at the home to be this rigid authority and backbone like he needs to be, because the mom don't want him to be there. Because the mom usually, I didn't say all, usually don't want him to be there for various reasons, because she wants to take power and keep power. I'm going to talk about that in a different audio. It's a cancer. So you have this virus of a society which have a misconstrued, broken, backwards, sick, upside down, flipped on its head idea of reality. So really, nothing means anything. Okay, really, your words can mean anything. It can mean anything. There's various words that a person may use, a misnomer, where it's always somewhat of a misunderstanding. How are you going to get a misunderstanding with a word supposed to mean one thing? Usually it don't. And of course you can say it's the context of how you use it, or the contents, depending on your verbiage and how you phrase the word, but still, it can still bridge a misunderstanding for those who have a different perception. However, getting off of that, it's a little bit of schooling there. It's not as if you didn't know that, okay? Getting back to the church thing, okay? Flipping off and cutting off that story there, because it can keep going on and on. You know how I talk, okay? Or teach here in the academy. So the church, for those who are afraid, who have this embankment of fear that they have only so much to live, only so many years to live, only so much more time on earth, because they begin to see changes in their body, obviously, that's where they will go. After giving all their, hold on, let me change this microphone. This thing is hot weird. Push this thing off so you can hear me a little bit better. And they finally get to the final enemies, the enemy's final trap for them. Now, this is the point that makes people uncomfortable. I've already made it clear to you that I mean business, okay? And again, you're not forced to be here. But while you are here, you're here to learn. If you're not, exit the room, okay? Because we don't need those who are not willing to learn here. It is a trap because your soul is going to continue on. The real demons in your life, and I'm not saying women, even though some of them can. I'm not talking about women here. The real demons in your life have a pretty face. The real demons that want to deter your soul, keep you bound, and distract you, or you could say the devil itself, is a very beautiful thing. See, how the enemy would come to you is with a creased, oh, y'all don't like this, oh, y'all not ready, oh, y'all not ready, woo, boy, y'all not, boy, I can see the hate mail now. Don't y'all come knocking on my house door, don't you? I recommend you don't do that. Don't y'all come barking up my tree. Okay. They will come to you with a robe and permed long hair and outstretched hands and say, believe in me. If you believe in me, you will. See, y'all not ready. Y'all already see the acid and the water and the hot fire sitting there. You're like, whoa, freeze. What do you say? No, okay, I'm gonna get to that in a moment. Because psychology says this. Why should I need to tell you to believe in what I'm saying in order for me to teach you? What did I just say a few minutes ago? I said it's a choice. Now, this is where the argument will come in line. This is the conflict, the debate between me and the pastor. Okay? They will say this, that, yeah, it is also free will that God gives you a chance to decide what you want to do. And God's not going to force you to do anything. And God gives you grace and mercy and all these sort of wonderful things. But if you take your time and you read the Bible slowly, if you take your time and you follow the religions of all kinds, the way that they are speaking to you, ladies and gentlemen, is if you don't believe, first of all, you won't receive. Yeah, yep. Mm-hmm. You won't receive, and not only will you not receive, listen carefully, the gates of heaven will not open up to you. Then there are songs that are sung that this is the only way. There's no way above, there's no way under. You got to go through the door. You got to go through this man who is supposed to be the mediator between you and your so-called Heavenly Father. And now y'all get confused and call that person the Heavenly Father. We're not getting to that. Okay, don't get all fidgety, because I'm going to break it down in just a moment. Bear with me, okay? Because the idea of it isn't about, okay, it's an exchange type of thing. Listen to, if you believe, you shall. If you believe, I will. If you believe, then you will receive. If you believe this and this and that. That's an exchange for something that was supposed to be claimed to be free. That's an exchange for something, and here we go, a very high claim around the entire world, okay, that you live in, that this was done for all of you, and the price was already paid. So if the price was already paid for your sins and your bad behavior, then why are you all of a sudden telling me that if I believe, then I would? That sounds to me like a sales pitch. And no matter the argument in the Jesuits and the so-called, Morpheus, I'm this and that, and there's certain text to this, and you're reading it out of text, and you just blunder in and you just blaspheme. Okay, sir, ladies and gentlemen, I have escaped the matrix. So I can talk like that and say it with complete confidence. There's nothing you can tell me about your manual of human control called the Bible that's going to change my mind otherwise, because I've never been more happier. I've never been more free. I've never been more of myself until I have put this thing called religion down the drain. I actually use it for my fireplace, and I tell you every single time that's what happens. When a Jehovah Witness is brave enough to walk all the way up there in my parking lot, okay, to get all the way past where that grass is, to get all the way over there where the patio is, to knock on the door and to push the doorbell, okay, I will take the pamphlet and say, thank you, ma'am, appreciate your time, I'm glad you came up here, it's good to see a friendly face, have a nice day. And she said, God bless you. I'm like, yes, I'm blessed, thank you. And as soon as they leave, I go right over there where the fireplace is, and I will stack it up. And then when I get a certain amount of stack, it's going to become kindling. I'll kick it in there, start the fire, and I'm warm for the rest of the day. Reading it is irrelevant past this point, because it's kindergarten information at this point. When, what did I tell you? You should have evolved. Now, what I just said probably made a lot of people uncomfortable. What I just said, you're probably mad. Because you are a believer, I'm a knower. You see that? The whole ideal of this exchange in general, because I really cannot go into details, we can debate on that at a different time. I can make a different audio based on that, but you're going to be wasting your time if you're upset, because I don't have enough time to really go into the detail. You see what I mean? So we're just going to have to skip over all the empty bridges and the misunderstanding, because there's a lesson here about the soul. The whole point is you have to have your guard down in order to be deceived. The enemy is not going to come to you looking just like the devil on the movies. The enemy is not going to come to you and with a mask, with a hockey mask on, looking like Jason, with this big old Buchetti blade, getting ready. You know what time of day it is. The enemy is not going to come in your face with the AK and say, okay, you know what time it is. No, the enemy have to deceive you in order to survive, in order for a parasite to live, in order for, and here's another thing that a lot of you probably might be familiar, in order for a vampire to live and exist for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years, they have to go unknown. It's almost like this phrase, but it's different than what you told. I told you the way that they teach you, like when they tell you God exists, yeah, God exists, but in a different way than what they taught you. Almost every story you've been given from history have been twisted to make you the cattle that you are. Everything that they've told you is to, okay, you ready? Everything they told you is to make you where you are today. That's right. Is to make the world that you see today. Is to bring in the enemy as they have already done. And to encamp the enemy around you underneath the disguise that that person is your friend. Okay? And you won't know otherwise because there's no weapon in their hand. There's no machete in their hand. They come to you with a nice, clean cut, well done face, hair, and clothes and say, I am your friend. You can believe in me. Because the whole idea is to make this thing so obscure, so under the radar, not over the radar, under the radar, where you will accept it in your everyday. Okay? Because the trick is to make you believe. The trick is, not only will you believe, you put your life, you put your whole soul and everything on it, because the whole idea is when you meet your crossroads, listen carefully, I need y'all to check this out. I built it up enough for you as best as I could, at least right now, at the time that I have. The idea is when you, okay, y'all ready? When you die, okay, when you cross, when your eyes is crossed out and you are finished, okay, your ownership of yourself, oh, this is deep, is not your own. You don't own your own soul because you did give your soul away just like they wanted you to when you believed, because you did not own yourself when you was 60 years earlier. That means when you was 1 year old, if you passed away when you was 60, or you passed away when you was 50, or you passed away 40, 30, 20, 9, whatever you did, whatever time that you have wasted focusing on what others want you to be, believing in other systems, becoming what they want you to be by their books and their indoctrination, that is where you check out. And what ends up happening, and this is something that, okay, again, I told you, this is a tinfoil hat type of thing. And I'm not saying whether you should believe me or not. It's not about belief. This is a warning. These are things that I have studied. These are things I know about, but it's difficult to prove it to you by actual physical evidence because you can't put it underneath the microscope. But you've been here long enough. You've had all the signs that you ever need. You watch the news. You see the way the world is going. Oh, you've heard the pastors spitting in your face over the pulpit on their equally just as stinky microphone and their bad breath while they're sweating just to get your dollar, to get your approval, to get you to buy them an airplane in a bigger church. Okay? You've seen all this, so I should not need to prove it because you had all the evidence that you need. The fact is, you're just not ready. Here's the point what I mean by that. And somebody asked me this as well. I had this conversation with the older man, and he asked me this. He said, brother, he said, Morpheus, of course he called me Leon C, but he said, listen, people need to hear what you were saying because I never thought of it that way. I never thought of it that way. How do you reach people? How are we going to be able to tell the world? He doesn't know. He don't know that I'm actually doing it right now. But anyhow, he said people need to hear this. How do we get this information? How I didn't see it like that. Where's the evidence and how can we expand this? And you know what I told him? I told him this. I said, you yourself, I need y'all to check this out. Put this in your back pocket. Put it in your BlackBerry, on your dumb phone. I'm never going to call it a smartphone. I'm going to always call it a dumb phone. Okay? Put this in your dumb phone. Put this on your billboard. Write it down in your office cubicle. Put it on a sticky note, or put it on your child's forehead. Whatever you need to do. Or write it on your hot dog and your ho-hos and your Subway sandwiches. You will not reach glory unless you want glory bad enough. Before I got into martial arts and bodybuilding and being the best version of myself, nobody was going to do it for me. I had teachers, I had inspirations, and I had looked at some things from Lou Ferrigno, from Arnold Schwarzenegger, from other famous people, real life friends of mine who was a little bulkier than me when I was a kid. I told myself, I want it bad enough where I am going to get what I want out of life. That's just like a rich man who, he has the money and he can choose whatever car that he wants. And he can pay somebody to go get the car. He can ask for, he can make his phone call. You make a couple of, send some mail over to Dubai. You know, he can do all sorts of things, but the one thing that he's doing, regardless of whatever clout or money that he has, he's making a choice. You have a choice, and this thing about God not interrupting free will, this is the only time I will stand by this. The only time when I will stand by this thing, free will. You have a choice to make that you want to live, you don't want to perish forever. And I'm going to tell you why I say that. You have a choice that the universe gives you to pass the class or to flunk the class and give your soul away to a mythical idea and never turn to existence, never return, never reincarnate, never start the class all over again as an innocent person. And I'm going to tell you how this happens. Just hold on. I'm going to tell you how, I'm going to walk you through this, okay? When you decide, first of all, when you decide to win, you're going to do everything you can to win. Nobody's going to push you through the finish line. I can't show you this. I cannot put this in, because this is so unique. These type of subjects can't be put underneath the microscope. It can be technically and logically analyzed, and it can be comprehended by this English language, which is actually a curse if you really want to ask me. Because I told you in one of my audios that this speaking in general is the lowest form of communication. Where you need sound, you need energy, everything is energy. Words can also be energy, but we're using a language that is a precursor of the most weakest language. I know some of y'all don't like it, but you are listening from an advanced man who's been there, done that, every sense of the word. Okay? You're using a language that is malleable, that is weak, it's broken, and it's always misunderstood, which contributes to the condition of the society that we are living in a westernized civilization. With this common language, which shouldn't be common. It's amazing that the main thing that's always common and popular is the worst to be used. The one that's less used, the one that's less popular, is usually the best to use. Almost like the quiet girl in the classroom with glasses. She's virtuous, maybe a virgin at the same time and decent to work with, but the one who's loudest walking around with the skin dress on, with eyeliner, big lips, painted war face, you know, with everything showing and revealing, everybody wants her. They ignore the girl in the back of the classroom with glasses on, with a long dress on. She's covering up everything. However, getting back to the story here. And we're going to talk about choice. Choice is going to come in line with this discussion coming up ahead. So what happens is, now you are at the end here where you're a certain amount of age and you know you're getting ready to clock out of here. You're going to clock out. You're leaving Earth in one form or the other. And another place where people leave Earth sometimes, many times, let me take that back. I'm just trying not to give you a lot of red tape here, is a hospital. A lot of people they have breathed in, they have inhaled their last breath in the hospitals. And when they're there, you might have a pastor, maybe a mother, boyfriend, somebody's praying for you, and you're out. 1, 2, 3, you're out. Ready to go? Ready or not? Poof, you're out of here. And so here's the ordeal here. You start all over again. I told you this before on the other audio. And again, they use the word of reincarnation. No, I say you are a flunky. Because this is a classroom, because you have a mission. You did not complete your mission. So now when you hear, you know things a little bit more. You have, and I told you about that in the other audio. I'm just doing a rundown what I talked about before we get to the girth of this one. Okay. You know a little bit more. You realize that you see deja vu. You have talents that you never knew you had before, but it's been there the whole time, and you feel like you've already lived a lifetime because, lady and sir, you did. you did. You just don't remember, and you have a hard time remembering, but your soul will never forget. So this time around, you're smarter. You're a lot more wise above your years. Why do you know so much? It wasn't because you've been hanging out with elderly people, because frankly today, well, let's not talk about that. You know, the elders need some help. Okay, they need some help. You know, some of the older people, and I'm not saying all. Be offended? I guess the shoe fits. Okay, here we go. Grow up then, elder or not. But they have not done enough for the generations that are here, because that seed comes from somewhere. If you're that powerless, that means you're weak. And as a masculine male, I don't respect weakness. Sorry, I don't. I can't accept weakness. I can't. I'm the general. I don't like it. I can't sit next to it. I don't want to smell it. I don't want to be around it, because you're going to compromise my life and my space. You need to go somewhere with your weakness. Okay? Because in my world, either you do it or you don't do it. If you don't do it, that means you can't. And if you give up, you're a quitter. And I don't like quitters. And we're going to get to the quitter as well. Bear with me. So time goes on, and you got another opportunity. And let's say, for example, you know a little bit about yourself a little bit now. You're smarter. You don't know that you've already been here. Now you're 74 years old, and you're getting ready to clock out again. You'll be amazed how many times this happened. But let's hold this down, because there's this thing called grace. And the universe is trying to get you to complete your mission, but you keep failing because you keep becoming distracted. But you only have so many times. I'm going to tell you where the end is. And the results of it, because I speak to these people all the time. Okay? And then you detoured again by this idea of church. You detoured again about this idea of some savior going to come and save you, when you can only save yourself. So what ends up happening is, inevitably, there's this thing called a spark in your soul. There's this thing called life that you are interested in, that if you really wanted it and you fight for it, you will have a girth of freedom. You're no longer bound by a system. You're no longer bound by what people tell you, what to say, what you can't say, what to believe in, what not to believe in. You are your own person. And as a matter of fact, by that time, you become a teacher. By that time, you become a leader. I'm not talking about a pulpit pimp where you're just spitting over indoctrination and mythical idea. I'm talking about speaking fact, because when I speak to you, I'm not reading from a book. I'm teaching you and speaking to you from yours truly. Okay, this ain't practiced. This is me speaking to you from pure instincts, pure thought, pure experience and energy. Okay? And so when you do this, what happens is you begin to transform into the best self that you were supposed to be a couple of lifetimes ago. You end up taking back the power that the world took from you, that the church took from you, that the systems took from you, that the schools took from you. You see things differently, and when you speak with power. There's nothing else for you to do here. You're done with your mission, and you yourself will know this. I cannot tell you this. You will know this. You will know this because you don't need anything else. There is a connection that you have with the universe, and it will be more instinctual than it is technological. There are plenty of people that leave here and they got more technology, they got more money, they got more degrees than what is necessary, and they consider that to be success because that was their life. Meaning they put their idea of life, their function of life, was what they could accomplish in this world and not what they can accomplish internally. So when they disappear, okay, whatever paradigm, whatever life reincarnation that they go to, okay, I am pretty sure there's a big F sitting on their desk. But as well, it can be just a A plus because that's just what they are here for. And going back to what I said before, heaven is not for everybody, and evolution definitely isn't for everybody. It's only for the few who's willing to work and fight for it. There are plenty of men who work out. There are plenty of men who go to the gym. There's plenty of martial artists. People who do karate when they're 5 years old, 9 years old, taekwondo, tai chi. Okay? But not everybody's going to succeed in it. People drop out. You know, there's some people who, when they just fresh come out of prison, they was pumping iron, right? Because that was one of the only things that they can do. And their biggest day, buff. You know, they promise that they're going to come out and be a superstar and do some magnificent things. And they weigh like 200 something pounds. And you look at them like, man, dude, you got buff, man. You was, what was you doing back there? And he's like, you know, working out, pumping that iron, reading books. You know, he's a genius now. But once he's relieved from the prison cell and he get back out here in the other world, because there's several types of world. I didn't say the real world. I said the other world. Then he loses his, he started atrophy. His muscles start decreasing. He started going back to his old ways. And then you look at him several years later. He got this beer belly, head all bald head, looks scraggly, still looks shabby. Nothing compared to the guy that he was when he was in the prison or the correctional facility. It's not for everybody to maintain that because it's only for the unique, for those who really fight for the glory. And so what ends up happening is there's several forms of heaven that I'm not going to talk about right now. I've discussed that in other audio. But I'm going to say in simple terms, when you succeed to be the best version of yourself, the demons lose. Agent Smiths lose. They lose the game. They lose another soul. They take points off. Because how the world became to be what it is those who take your soul and your energy and use it for their own benefit. Want an example? I talked about Incredible Hulk in the first audio. All right. The second movie with the Incredible Hulk was one of these sergeants. And the sergeant, imagine the sergeant being the demon, or with some people y'all say the devil, or Agent Smith, or some pastors. I say all. And he look at you in the audience. You have this thing called light code transmission. It's a light in your soul that sparks. And this same type of interaction happens when you have a child as well. When that seed hits her, when that semen, okay, hits the seed, and they combine themselves, there's a miniature spark. There's a miniature explosion that goes on within her body that is on a microscopic scale. But that same thing can be visual as well when you look into somebody's eyes. I've seen that myself, where somebody really like you, and they're excited about you, and you catch them off guard, and you are the light in their life. You will see a sparkle in their eye. You will see it. You will see it. I saw it. And several people actually, and they become your best friend. Or if it's a woman, she trust me, she has her eyes on you. She's not going nowhere. She's yours. You got it. But that same thing connects to the soul. But however, now let's say that the person who graduated, they're no longer here, they're in the next paradigm. They have succeeded. They are actually a soul, because the soul's going to keep going. You're going to keep living. There's no stopping to it. The idea is, and here, in the middle here, I'm going to talk about the person who don't graduate. at all. Okay, is the middleman wants to take that energy from you. Okay, I know I jumped over it. The Incredible Hulk movie part 2, that guy was saying something. He said this: I want that power for myself. That guy who was the sergeant on Incredible Hulk 2, when he had to fight the other Hulk that looked like him, he took in some of the Hulk's DNA, some of the Hulk's energy, because he wanted the Hulk's power for himself, power that he could not control. So that's the same with these systems that are around you, is to take your soul, to take you for all you are, and leave you hanging. And I'm going to tell you how they do it. I'm here. I promised you, didn't I? I'm going to tell you that the person who quits and where the limit is and where it stops, it's all going to be combined into one by throwing this in the middle so you can see. So let's say that they're doing that, and the sergeant takes the Incredible Hulk's DNA, and takes him to himself and says, yes, I finally got the power of all those saints, all those dummies, all those sheeple who kept coming to the mass, all those sheeple who kept coming to the church, to the cathedral, to the mass. And here they are. I see all their light, and I'm going to take their light, just like a vampire. Didn't I tell you that in the first audio? What does a vampire love the most? The energy of somebody else, because they can't generate energy on their own. So they want your energy, your interest, your talents. And not only that, it goes so deep to they want your ancestral DNA. Oh, Morpheus, you talking some BS now. Listen. There is a gift that your ancestors, that your great grandfather and grandmother have installed in your DNA. And that, listen, I'm really trying not to be disrespectful here. That's why a lot of you are dummies. Because that's been cut off with the stuff you put in your veins. Purposely taken from you and given to the vampire. By the food you eat, by your lifestyle, and definitely by the books. And how this is done? How the school system is orchestrated, who the people are, your teachers, every individual who is situated in your life is orchestrated in such a perfect way where you are being usurped and you have no idea that your power is being usurped. You have no idea you're being kicked out of the throne room. You have no idea that your internal spiritual and physical inheritance from your great grandchildren, your great grandfather and mother, ancestors, is being ripped away and stripped away from you, one piece at a time. 1, by your lifestyle. 2, by what you eat. 3, by what you believe in. 4, because you really don't want to be yourself on the often. 5, because if I was damn lying to you, the world wouldn't be the way that it is today. Y'all are a bunch of walking automatons, and you know you are. Walking backwards when you should be walking right now like gods on the face of the planet. Something that Satan said, oh, y'all don't like this, but it was true. I told y'all not ready for this. I told you, your tinfoil hats, I'm going to get all kind of girth from this. All type of back. Listen, there was something that Satan said that y'all don't get. And it's just the Bible. It's just this manual of human control. But he said something that made sense. If you bite of the apple, you're going to be like gods? Huh? Because you know something? And of course, I can hear y'all now. Well, the apple is the apple of good and evil. And somebody else is going to say it's the apple of knowledge. Take y'all misunderstanding and fake, fraudulent, anthropomorphic kindergarten book somewhere else, because Morpheus don't give two butt cheeks about what you think it said. The fact of the matter is, the fruit wasn't to be eaten, but unfortunately, when they bit the fruit, it changed a lot of things. And one of the things that were evident is the fact that the fruit was a sort of knowledge. Who the hell don't want to learn anything? You want to be dumb for the rest of your... Let me stop. I guess y'all do. So when you have knowledge, you have power. When you have knowledge, you have a sense of self. That's why they had to go cover themselves, because they realized they were naked. It's a sense of self. Why would you not want a sense of self? When you have a sense of self, you know what you need to do for yourself. When you have a sense of self, you have a sense of awareness. When you have a sense of yourself, you have a sense of what's going on in your outside environment. If somebody tells you they don't want you to read a book or they don't want you to have a sense of self, they want you to remain a dumb, unlearned dog without instincts. Always read things in the reverse. If they are uplifting the hero and putting down the enemy, you need to see what the enemy's story is all about, because they're doing it for a reason to mind wash us, because not us, you, not me. Okay, in the back of the classroom, not you who are understanding what I'm saying. They want, the thing that you need the most is what they'll put at a distance. The thing that they want you to have, they're going to put up front, just like your grocery stores and your nasty your gas stations. They put all the junk food and filth right up there where the cash register is, because they know one of you are going to get it. And don't you dare have any children walking in there, because they're going to look at all the candy, all the Starburst, all the Star Crushed, all the Swish Rolls, all the candy bars and the Snickers, and you're going to end up buying it. Especially, I see it all the time. The mother's sitting up there and the child, I don't want that over there. And what does she do? She'll bend down, she grab one of the lollipops, or candy, or little packages of cookie. Here you go. It works every damn time. It's no different than everything. That's why I brought up the cancer situation. Listen how I'm doing this. Listen. Cancer works like that, where it's in every single damn thing. The problem is y'all got a systematic mind. Y'all always think that the enemy is going to work at you one way. That life works in a singular mindset. You got one-itis disease. That's your problem today. Everything will tether itself to the next. If one thing is a precursor to damage, it's going to affect the next damn thing. Some of you think because you in California and something happens in New York City, it's not going to affect you. Dummy, y'all still on Earth. And eventually, give it a certain amount of time, that drama that's going off over there, it's going to reach you. Just like the story about, this so-called sickness. Oh my God. What am I doing? I got chest pain. I have hot fever. Oh my God, give me a vaccine. All the way over there in the East. And now you're talking about, it's never going to happen over here. We're clean people over here in America. No, the hell you're not. Shut up. Anyway, we're clean people over here. Guess what happened? It came right over here, and here y'all go, oh my God. It got me too. Yeah. Because things connect to the next thing. You don't understand. So you can easily tether, her sitting down, reaching over to give her child some candy because they had all the junk food up in front. It's the same thing as when somebody's telling you a story or trying to program you. The enemy, they're going to make the hero. The hero, they're going to make the enemy. Tell me I'm a lie. The one who needs, y'all want to play. Y'all want to play. What about this woman situation we going on in Westernized civilization? The woman is wrong. She picks a fight with the man. She kicks him in the genitals. She punches him in the stomach, slap him a couple of times and push him down. And all he does is stand up, and he tries to hold her to keep her from hitting him. And she ends up slipping and falling down to the ground. And what she do? Pretend like she's crying. Oh my God, he hurt me. Oh, he hurt me. And here come all the white knights. Here come some of the officers. Some officers are smarter than that. Trust me when I say there is some police officers that know what time of day it is today. They're not as stupid as you think they are. Some of them know the type of games that women have been playing on y'all turf. Now I'm not saying all of them. A lot of them do. They know what time it is. They've been getting phone calls almost all the time by women talking about, he hit me. Then they show up. She was the one doing it. So don't think it's going to be always one-sided. No. Nope. Don't even. It's not all the time. No. But just to keep it simple. That's a fact. But just to keep it simple. So what happened is, now he's actually the hero, but she's actually the villain. But everybody would think that he's the villain and she's the hero because she's sitting there acting like he beat the crap out of her. Oh my God, he abused me. me. He's so controlling. He broke my arm. But yet she did it to herself. All she did was fall down to the floor. She could have got up and just brushed her knees off. She do it all the time anyway when she's walking. Because half these women don't know how to chew gum and cook at the same time. So, so you have this imbalance because we have accepted this in the environment because nobody steps up. Nobody changes it. So guess what? It's a cancer that spread. If the okay, what's the doctor tell you? If we can't catch this cancer soon, it's going to spread, buddy. If y'all don't catch the evil that's being encroached upon you ahead of time and change it, your whole society is done and y'all just about done already. Y'all just about at the end, and some of you bozos are calling it the end of the world or the rapture. Now, this is because you program and you thinking the way they want you to think. Because you're reading too much biblical myth and not reality facts. You don't know anything. You believe in what you think you know. That's your dumb problem. So, you got the idea of the middleman, which have wanted, desired, and have for so many years taken the power from the people. Just go to the church. Now, when I talk about the individuals, remember, you're not different than them because you're all believing in this idea because you all go right into the vampire's lair and you get sucked. Yes, you do. You're talking about, oh, I'm different. I'm an individual. Oh, I'm a banker. I'm a store clerk. I'm a teacher. I'm da. Yeah, but all of you walk into the church doors and get yourself indoctrinated. So shut your mouth. You're all looking the same. But that's where you fell right there. Uh-oh. Oh, my God. Somebody just took the boxing gloves off. Don't do it. I'm warning you. I'm warning you, buddy. No, but listen. Because what I tell you, your mission is your personal mission. Your life purpose isn't the same purpose of everybody else sitting in that church, man. Your purpose, your idea of life is different than theirs. When you go to the farm, what do they do with animals? Just take the picture for a minute. Think about it. If you see how they herd cow all in one time, take that picture and imagine you walking into the church doors. You ain't no different. You ain't no different. There are sheep. You're trying to herd sheep in one direction. They're not going to keep sheep in separate rooms unless all the sheep are sick and they're trying to prevent some type of virus or bacteria or type of connection between each sheep. Each sheep is not going to have their own barn, dummy. Do you understand? They're going to be in one place at one damn time. So when you walk in the church, tell me, oh, I'm an individual. I comb my hair this way. That person right there is bald. They don't come. Okay, you are all in the same. You're in the corral, sir. You're in the corral. That's not what your mission here. Now, again, I can't tell you what your mission is, but I'm just telling you that's an obvious sign right there that you are in the wrong damn place. I'm not trying to get you to turn against this idea of what you think religion is and trying to change what you believe in. I'm telling you facts that you can observe for yourself, but you don't want to stand by truth because you just want to stand by what you believe. Did you hear what I just said? So y'all sitting there in the church, bah, 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 bah. I believe, bah, I believe, bah. And so he's taking and taking and taking and taking and taking generation after generation after generation. You de-evolve, and you start all over again. Because the whole point, here we go. I promised you. Here we go. Listen. The whole point is this. When you start all over again, and you're not willing to win because nobody's going to take you to the water. I mean, they'll take you to the water, but it's up to you to drink. Nobody can tell you how to evolve. Nobody can make you the best version of yourself. You got to make your own self, your own version. Check this out. I didn't say virgin, I said version. No, you're not going to be a virgin again for some of you. No, you can repackage. I'm going to go to church and say I'm a virgin again. No, just stop. Just shut that down. Forget it. You can cleanse yourself. You can start all over again and be pure again, but no. But check this out. So what it ended up happening is you have another chance. The whole idea is to get you to fall flat on your face and give up. What that means is this: you become a lackluster, you become lazy, you become insignificant to yourself, you end up losing the ambition of reaching for a higher cause and a higher mission, which causes you to lose your light code transmission and your soul's delight. Remember what I talked about, that spark? Do you remember when I said the sparkle in your eyes? It becomes gone. When this happens, there's this phrase that they use in the end of Revelation, and I'm just using that for some of you who are Bible thumpers instead of real book thumpers, because you love being told what to do. Don't worry, all sheep do. You're not the only one. All sheep love to be told what to do. So you're just like the rest of them. So you're good. You're cool. You're normal. You don't like that, do you? It's true. Hearts will wax cold. Have you ever heard that before? Hearts will wax cold. You know, God's going to leave the earth. God's going to, the mercies of God is not always going to strive with men. Amazing. That's what they say, but I'm just telling you what they say. That's not what I stand by or will consider to be true, but this is what comes out of their mouth. But in reality, something else is going on to you. This is something else. Something else is going on with your world. If you think Morpheus is BSing you around, then why are you de-evolving year to year? You're not getting better. You listen to your coworkers. You talk to people every day. You do this, sir, ma'am. If you was here with me right now, I'll be the Indian chief like I am with my hands in my pocket and look at you in your face and say, you do this. I heard you. You don't want to arm wrestle, don't play. You do this. You hear people every day. You hear it on the news. You hear it in the comment boxes. You hear it on Instagram. You hear it on some TikTok. You hear it on Facebook, and you definitely hear it on YouTube comments. People are saying all the time, this world is at an end. People are crazy. People are losing their mind. Ladies and gentlemen, it's over. Something like that. The end of because of feminist movement and all this, everybody is seeing the decline of what I'm talking about. What is happening in your world? What's going on? And all you church bigots can think of, oh, it's the end of the world because God is coming and the devil is roaming the face of the earth like the Bible said. No, because you don't face reality. And I hate to say it, I don't want to talk bad about people. God, I'm going to shut my mouth. Let me stop because I'm getting ready to go there. Woo, woo. Let me take a breath. I was so close to saying it. I was so close. I was close. Morpheus got to pump the brakes on that one because I can roast your ass. Boy, okay, listen. Because you don't face reality and nature and science and your own mankind, you rather give up your soul to a myth than face what's truly going on. What's going on is you have evil in your society, which is actually taking your evolution because they want you to de-evolve. If you de-evolve, evil wins. If you de-evolve, you're going to be just like every other country around you. You're going to be eating out of boxes, living out of boxes, frustrated, economy crashing, things happening where you can't trust the government. Government can't trust you. You can't trust the police. The police can't trust you. Everybody's on edge. Isn't that happening now? You can't trust whatever's coming down the pipe. You don't want to put everything in your mouth because you're weary of it, and you should be, because you don't know what it's laced with. Every other damn commercial is always about some medication or some pill that had a bad side effects that probably wiped out 1 million people before anybody ever realized it, because we don't care, because we want to get high and stupid. Because you got no damn instincts. Your instincts is being sucked out of you. The person who is the best version of themselves got instincts. Animals, plants, most of the entire organic realm in the animal kingdom have been obedient to nature, every one of them, besides human beings. Human beings is the only cancerous species that can't get they damn book straight because we don't want to be obedient to nature and the way things really work, because we want to dominate it and manipulate it and suck every life form out of it. And because of that, you have created this demonic spirit. And now your soul is trapped. And the only way to save your soul is to break yourself out of the system completely and be the best version of yourself. Break away from what they taught you what this thing is, because whatever they said is coming out of a human's mouth. Tell them to shut up. What the hell do they know besides, let me shut up, let me stop. I need to shut up myself. So I was getting ready to say something. What do they know besides what they do now, which is destroy themselves? Most of the time with your help, with your purchases, with your support, with the fact that you're sitting there talking about, I believe. I don't know, but I believe. Duh, which way did he go, George? Which way did he go, George? I go by hearsay, gossip. I don't want to go out there because I'm afraid it takes too much work. I'm afraid going through the checkered flag takes too much work. I'm afraid being the best version of myself, everybody's going to hate me. Well, no, I was going to say it. Ooh, boy, I was going to say it. Gonna slow down, boy, I was going to say it. Well, no, duh, Sherlock. What do you think? Because nobody else is going to give you the trophy. You got to take it. Ain't nobody going to give you victory. You got to want it bad enough. Ain't nobody going to give you eternal life. You're going to want it bad enough. The only eternal life you're going to have is being reincarnated to take your F butt and start all over again with an F on your forehead called you have flunked the class. A, you did. A, you did excellent. You passed. B, you did okay. C, you need a little bit of work. D, you need some tutoring. You need some practicing because you're getting ready to fail the class. F, you are done. You don't pass this grade. And because we are a bunch of lazy, backwashed, backwards walking, climbing up a tree backwards, funny looking human beings, we don't evolve, and we're comfortable that way. And while we are going down the hill of the de-evolution, we're smoking weed at the same time, getting high off of stupid, because you don't understand that the evolution is already within you. You don't want to tap into it. You don't realize your ancestors already gave you the book of life. Let me say that again. You don't understand that your ancestors already gave you the book of life in your damn veins. But you're too damn stupid eating the crap that they could shoveling on your table and you doing it yourself. Don't want to work out. You don't want to meditate. You don't want to do the necessary work to be the best version of yourself. So you are willing to become a walking zombie to the point where your soul loses its luster, to the point where it gives up, and Agent Smith, your demons that you created and your backwards social engineering wins. And now the next generation come in, and the elite are those who have been usurping and have taken and have provided for, okay, wins the game, and you lost. Just the way they want it to be, because you love yourself and your generation to come. Because all you know how to do is just sit there and don't do a damn thing because you love yourself so much. Kiss your PhDs and your placards. Oh, look at all this money. Yes, I got the bag. It's all about me. I'm successful. Forget about the generations to come. Let's let them suffer for the junk, the dirt, and the crap that we done left behind for them, because we are such geniuses. That's what it means to be soul trapped. So when somebody come up to you, or when you hear this thing, or if it's you, and you feel like, oh man, I did this before, but you never did it before physically, sir, you did. And your ancestor did. Your ancestor of that ancestor did that. Your ancestor did this 100-something thousand years ago. Some of them 500 years ago. You're just now coming along on board saying, "Oh my God, deja vu." Huh. Why am I getting deja vu? Well, sir, you flunked the first class. You got to start all over again. Figure it out. And if you don't, that I told you before in my other audio, when you get a deja vu, that's the universe telling you, hey, this is something. Stop what you're doing and think. Stop right there, put the coffee mug down, put your cigarette down, and think about this opportunity, because that's a golden opportunity. It's a break in the matrix. It is a fraction. It is a failure. It is a computer that's glitching and letting you know you are not where you're supposed to be. Wake the hell up. You need to take that opportunity. Don't pray like they want you to, because that's the system. Trust me, you're not praying to anything but yourself. Let me say that again. You're not praying to anything but yourself. Take that opportunity to go for a walk and think about what just happened. And say, wait a minute, I need to make a change. And your change isn't going to come by going to the constructed traps, the barracks, the ditches that they made for you, because they know what you're going to do before you do it, sir, ma'am. Oh, if they're going to come to the church eventually when they're 70 years old, when they feel their back is getting ready to give way at any time, their hips is brittle, they barely can remember their name and their children and grandchildren, so they're going to be here because they realize they only got a few good years. Oh, you know what? Some of you don't like that, but there's no other way to give it to you. Because some of you, that's where you're going to be. Because you don't want to listen to me. I'm just the messenger. Don't mind me. Don't mind me. Let me tell you something about instincts. This is why it's the key factor, and it's always going to be in just about all my audios. Instincts is the key to your higher mind. Instincts is the connection between you and the universe. Instincts is an energy, it's a power, it's a knowledge to the point to where you say, I know, I don't believe. I know, I don't believe. I know. I don't feel the situation. I know this. Your instincts will say either I know or I don't know. Period. The fact is, too many bozos, betas, weaklings, sappy, half-hearted, already remade, packaged 5 times over, zombies don't know a damn thing. So you have no choice but to be led by the noose and just believe, because you never fought for your victory nor your freedom. So because you don't fight for this is how merciful the universe is. This is how merciful the universe is. It gives you so many chances to let you hang yourself. It gives you so many chances to let you figure it out when you know absolutely you messed up. And you know the other word. Put the F in front of you. Messed up. You effed up. With the F, because you failed. You effed up. It lets you know that. And when you find out that you just did, there is no turning. It's over. It's done. Because by then, you finished. It's done. You're gone. You're not here no more. You've already passed on. There is no coming back for you. It's ashes to ashes, dust to dust, baby boy. Poof, be gone. Be gone. Because there's so many keys. There is so many evidences here. There's so many spiritual energies that you can feel, you know of already. You have experienced it. You've experienced it in your relationship. You see it in your kids' eyes. You see it in your eyes sometimes. You know it, and it's irking the back of your brain every single damn day, but you kept ignoring it. And so when the bell rings, you're done. If you want to talk about, the mercy of God. Well, let's just say the universe is the mercy of God. How about that? Let's say God is nature. You're going to keep on running this marathon until you get tired. Have you heard that song in the church? I don't feel no ways tired. I come too far from where I started from. Nobody told me that the road would be easy. I can't believe he brought me this far to leave me. And there's all kinds of other songs that they sing. All kinds of other songs like I'm running for my life. I'm running for my life. I'm running for my life. If anybody tell you what's the matter with me, just tell them I'm safe, sanctified, Holy Ghost filled, on the backside, and I'm running for my life. All kinds of songs that the Bible didn't make that up, people did. Let me correct you before you start getting good about this. People made that up by their own personal experiences. It started sounding good and feeling good because most of it is emotional anyway, without logic. Because if it was about logic, instead of singing about it, let's talk about it. The whole point is this. You think you're running a race and you're getting tired in that race? You need to give up, buddy. And the reason why I say this is because the sign of weakness is a sign that you've gone too far. Because they tell you something else. They try to tell you this. This is what they say, not me. They say God is not a hard taskmaster. Oh, okay. All right. Oh, he already shed his blood for you. You don't have to ask. Some of them say this, they say this. You know, the Holy Ghost is free. Just believe. You know, all this little dumb, funny stuff. I'm not trying to get you to believe here. Don't trust in what Morpheus is saying. I don't stand by none of that bull crap at all. I'm just telling you what they say. But the whole idea is, why are you struggling for something that's supposed to be given? Do you really have to ask for something that was supposed to be created for you? And all of you saying, well, we're all God's children. You know what? Go back to first grade. You don't bring that BS over here. I wish you would. I told you I'm going to make some hats called the Dodo, the Ralph the Dog, and the Sloth. Okay, I'm going to get it one of these days, and I'm going to send one to you. You get the Sloth hat, which is the worst here in the academy. Because I told you this before, victory isn't for everybody. Everybody isn't going to get a crown, and everybody isn't going to make it through the checker flag, because we have a whole lot of dimensions. You're working with a whole lot of worlds. One person is a world of their own. That's mind-blowing, isn't it? A universe is one person. And you got 1 billion to 1 trillion people here, or more. That's a lot of universes. That's a lot of worlds. But yeah, you think we're all the same. You better take your funny looking self and go somewhere else with that dumb nonsense. There's no idiots over here but you talking that stuff. Oh, we're all the same. We come from God. We go back to God. What? Excuse me? Oh, let me stop. Because I'm telling you, there's so much I want to say. I'm not going to. I'm going to save that for another audio because, boy, I can. Oh, man. Let's just put it like this. I'm going to make it very simple. All right, I'm going to put it. Okay, you're in the academy. You're here to learn something. You can't learn if I'm going to roast you. So I'm not going to roast you on this one. Let's work this out, okay, from an adult to you. Okay, listen. You have a mission to complete. Your mission is not my mission. Your task and purpose in this world is not my task and purpose. Your throne, your grace, your mercy are how many times, if you fail, how many times you're going to be reincarnated to come back as another child in a different form, in a different way, which is another thing that gentleman asked me. He said, well, how do I know when I come back to, what am I going to come back to? When am I going to come back? And he asked this question. It makes a lot of sense. He said, when? He said, is it exactly when we pass away? Or when is it going to be a while before we be reincarnated again? No, it's instant because you will never know anyway. Because when you are gone, you're gone. It's going to be like a day. Have you ever went to sleep? You go to sleep for 8 hours. You slept for 8 hours and you think it was an hour. You think it was an hour. The only time you realize it was longer if you keep waking up in between your naps. Okay, when your body is mangled, it's with the earth already, you're already pushing up daisies, it's not going to wake up at all. Okay? You can't go back to that thought. That body's gone. You need a new body. So when you do wake up and you're crying and you wah, 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 and you're being held in the arms by a mother that you're going to have to learn all over again. You're a different color, you're a different culture, you're a different gender, you're different everything. Okay, when you do that, you would never know. You would never know. It's just like a blackout. You would never know. You're just here. The way that it has always been when you did it before, when you flunked before and you had to start all over again. But here's the thing. Because souls live forever, the length of forever depends on the free will that you decide to use. Now, that's the deepest thing that a lot of people don't get. Now, you hear the churches are some kind of, oh, the soul's forever, and then they never die. Slow your funny, offering, stealing ass down and shut up and listen to what I got to say. Hold on, buddy. Hold on. Okay? Put your buck teeth and your dentures back in your mouth. Okay? Free will is that you see that checker flag down there. Nate, and this is what I'm trying to tell you. I'm really trying to draw a point here. I'm trying to, as much as I can, and it would be nice for you to see my face expression. This is the time where I really want you to see my face expression. I should have just went ahead and just made a video so you can see what's going on over here. It is up to you to take your football, take that baton, take that trophy, take that dime, that quarter, that mission, that information, your life, everything you've experienced, every love, joy, energy, soul advancement and evolution, not de-evolution, and run yourself all the way down there to the checker flag for you, not for anybody else. Nobody's going to tell you, oh, down there, you go ahead. Let me push you down there. Hold on to my dress, and I'll, psych, pants. We don't wear dresses anymore. Oops. Hold on to my pants pocket, and I'll walk you down there on a stroller or something. No, hold on to my hand. I'll take you down. No, sir. You are a soul at this point. It is up to you while you are here. The moment you return back to the human flesh at the age 1, you are to figure out what your damn mission is, and you run that ball all the way to the checker flag until you are completely the fulfilled version of yourself. In every step of your life, you have all the tools necessary. And therefore, if eternal life is your goal, if living for however, that's up to you. Nobody can tell you that. Oh, the soul is forever, or is it going to be limited? Well, you go down to the checker flag and you figure it out, because that's your free will. So I'm not going to tell you it is or isn't, but I'm going to tell you that you do have multiple opportunities. I know that for a fact. I get too many people coming to me, Morpheus, you speak about aliens, ghosts, and strange things. What do you think about the soul? What do you think about me knowing what this thing is? And I never did it before. And then here we are all over again. Because, Melm, you wasn't here. You passed away somewhere in your past life, and you're here again. Why are you still here? You didn't learn your lesson the first time? Are you, okay, you are a flunky, and here you are again on human earth. You didn't pass on to your next paradigm. And you, until you figure it out, you're going to keep, listen, until you figure it out, you're going to keep on seeing things that you probably thought you saw before because you did. You're going to keep having deja vu. You're still going to have bad nights. You're still going to have sleep tremors. You still ain't going to have a peaceful rest. You're going to have an upside down, turned over lifestyle, and still frustrated, still stressed out, still don't know how to do you and understand what life is all about all over again, because your soul is not fulfilled, because you are never interested in walking down into the checker flag. I know this sounds funny, but You don't pass go. You don't collect $200. Sit your ass down. And the longer you sit there, the more you decay. Do you know what that means? Your soul decays because it's going to get tired eventually. That's the whole point of the system. The whole point of the system is to let you see how bad do you want it. How bad do you want to be the best version of yourself? How bad do you want to succeed? Not as I'm a doctor or I'm a PhD. No, how bad do you want to succeed as a soul, as an individual person with your own name, your own signature, your own ownership to yourself? Nobody's going to take you there but you. That's your goal and your mission. So the world, the energy, the infrastructure in the world, when you begin asking that question, okay, we got all these things that want to take our soul, Morpheus. What are you saying? Okay, what's the whole purpose of why they're trying to detour us? Why are they trying to keep us from being the best version of ourselves? Why is a vampire trying to suck all our energy out and try to control us and make us serve this mythical God that don't exist? So what's the whole point? Because everything is here to stop you, to be a resistant, to be an anvil, to be a dumbbell, to be a bench press, to be a treadmill, to be a walking path, to be a beanie bag, to prove to yourself that you want it bad enough. To let you see just how bad you want, because it's not about testing you. All this old dumb nonsense about, oh, God is testing me. This is the test. This is a test of faith. No, moron, it's not. Then you just say God knows everything? God is all-knowing. Oh, and intelligent. Well, moron, it's not testing you. It's to let you see how bad you want it. Because when I pump iron in the gym and I'm sweating to the point where I'm getting ready to pass out and throw up, when I'm sitting in the car with tears in my eyes because I don't want to go in there and suffer, but when I do that and I'm done, the results is when I look at myself, I am happy for the results. I do it for me. I'm glad that I did it because I see that I am becoming the best version of myself. Not because the world is testing me and trying to keep me from doing it. It's because I have the potential to keep myself from doing it by believing in everybody else's BS. I can't say it no better than that. I can't. You are so trapped because either you don't have a soul or you don't give a damn about your soul. And you give it all away to the systems that want to do nothing but suck you like a parasite. Because you just give it up willy-nilly because you are a believer. You're not a knower. Instincts, no. Believing, don't know. Don't come to me talking about, oh, I believe, or, oh, it's probably, don't probably my ass. Either you know or you don't know. You don't know, just be honest, say you don't know. Learn it. So you have what it means to be soul trapped. And everything around you is working for that cause. Because it's not for them. They will take. Trust me, they will take. They will take from you. They will copy from you. They will benefit from your fall and your failure. Oh yeah. They will take and use just like that soldier did on Incredible Hulk. Oh, they will take. You want to give it away? Sure. If you want to give away the inheritance of your ancestors, your great ancestors that have died and fought for, certainly. You be that disgraceful, ungrateful, lazy, great grandson or daughter that you are, and let it spill to waste in a grave that will never rise again because that was your goal and your choice all this time. That's your free will to do so, or get off your ass and take that thing to the checkered flag. How do you do it? Raise up your instincts. How do you do it? Stop believing, Start knowing, start walking, start being confident, start breaking away from this lie called the systematic matrix. Social engineering. Stop believing, thinking about what other people are telling you how to accept God in the universe. Start figuring out for your own damn self, because it's only your relationship, no one else's. You should not be in a circle of people. They're not you. You are your own person. You are the only one that should be standing there at the checker flag. You're the only one that's going to have the crown on your head as successor. No one else is going to do it. They should not be. If they're there and they got a crown too, it's insignificant. It's pointless. Everybody else is in a whole group. Oh, you're all winners. You all win the lottery. $2 million lottery. It's a small thing, but hey, everybody wins. You got like what, 2 million people in there, you all get $1. What? Do the math on that one. That's dumb. You're the winner. All the money belongs to you. You scratched it off. Okay, it's your money. All of it's yours. But you stand there, you got all these people around you that got the same ticket as you do, and you call yourself victorious. No, you're a moron. Because your soul is just the same. It's only for you. You are the only one that's going to check out of this world one way or the other, or as a successful successor, as what your appointed mission and your purpose was in life, are you going to check out with a big F on your forehead? That we usually are anyway. That's why we're de-evolving. That's why you see the dumb BS that you see on the news every single damn day, because you're going down the slope and you're happy to do so head first. Just like a birth canal. Children's head are down there where the mother's outlet is, going downwards with your head first. Every day a child is born all over again, reincarnated again to start this messed up, effed up classroom all over again, because you can't figure it out. Too busy trying to learn from somebody else's stupidity based on their anthropomorphic ideas. Because they are Agent Smith and you have no idea that they are. Because, just believe in me. Hallelujah. Let me put some anointing oil on your face. Goodbye. Thanks for the money. Have a nice day, sheep. Let's do this again next lifetime until you figure it out. My task is to make you see that there is another life. This audio right here is one of the golden tickets to the whole purpose why I do what I do. To show you that there is a parallel universe. There is another dimension that you don't want to accept because you don't want to be called crazy. Because I gotta be like everybody else. I want to ride with the sheep. I'm an individual, but we are all going in one direction. Bah, bah, bah. We all dress the same. Bah. And guess what, sheep? You all get your hair cut off the same way too. But yet you think you own your soul. You don't own. Almost slip. You don't own it. No, somebody else do. The minute you start believing instead of knowing, the minute you say, oh, I don't care, it's what they say, so I'm just going to do it just to go along to get along, you have gave up your soul. Somebody else owns it. Whatever you done believed in, that's who owns it. You gave the signature to that devil over there. So you end up starting all over again, and they take a piece of you every single time. Oh, you believe in me? Okay, I'll take a piece of your soul until you drop out. Some of you until you drop, that thing. I don't say it, until you drop there. Period. You wonder why? Okay, you wonder why people are so lackluster and lazy? Huh. Oh, because Morpheus don't know what he's talking about. Oh, we don't do it. No more Einsteins around here. All we know how to do is make computers, dumb devices, and crap to make our life easier and lazier. Oh, well, because that's the generation you live in. Great work. That's where you evolve at. Everything else like sensible camaraderie, family, jointment, knowing how to make things happy in your industry, changing the dynamic, Hell, instead of working like 5 days a week, work 2 days a week then. Get paid for the rest of the days of the week. You really want some happy people. But no, we can't do that. We want slaves. And yet, y'all go along with it. Okay, I'm supposed to work 9 to 5 every single day, 40 hours a week, because click me in the back. See that little wire? Just click it back there. Click, 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 click. Here I go. Arm and Hammer. The autonomous. Y'all don't get it. That's enough for this lesson today because I got more for you. This was a big one. Take the red pill or don't. Stay here. Be you. Enjoy what you have. It's all free will, right? It's all free. I'm just a crazy man. I don't know what I'm talking about, right? All this is just, it's just junk. You don't need it. Don't worry about it. Go ahead and chew on your grass. Eat your fodder. Okay? And have a nice day.